Have you ever been lying in bed at night just about to drift off when that maddening itch shows up out of nowhere? Maybe under your arm, maybe near your lower back, or in a place that feels too awkward to talk about. You scratch and scratch, but it doesn't go away. You think, it's just dry skin, right? But what if your body is trying to tell you something more serious? Today, we're diving into a subject that most people brush off: itching. But for those of us over 60, not all itches are just part of aging. Some could be quiet whispers from your body, hinting at something deeper going on beneath the surface. And knowing the difference could change everything. Now, this isn't meant to scare you. It's meant to empower you. You've come this far in life, and your health is worth paying attention to, especially the little things that others may ignore. So in this video, we're going to explore some key areas on the body where persistent itching may mean more than just dry skin. And we'll talk about what steps you can take if it happens to you or to someone you love. Let's begin with one of the most overlooked places that itching occurs and why it deserves your attention: the armpits. Now, most people associate armpit itching with things like sweat, deodorant, or maybe a laundry detergent that's too harsh. And sometimes that's exactly the case. But for older adults, especially those managing diabetes, persistent armpit itching can be part of a bigger story. You see, when blood sugar levels are high over long periods, it does more than affect your energy or mood. It actually changes the way your skin behaves. The nerves that help regulate sweat and moisture in your skin can become damaged. That means your skin dries out, especially in delicate, sensitive areas like the underarms. And once that dryness sets in, it can become an open invitation for irritation, inflammation, and even fungal infections. Now imagine you're already dealing with the daily struggles of managing diabetes: meal planning, medications, energy crashes. Adding non-stop itching to the mix can feel like too much. But here's the thing. If your armpits itch constantly, even after using moisturizing creams or changing your soaps, that's a red flag. It might be your body's way of telling you that your diabetes isn't under control. Or worse, it could signal a complication developing under the surface. What's more, during the colder seasons, when the air is drier and your skin produces less oil, this itching can intensify. It can start to affect not only your comfort but your quality of life, making it harder to sleep, harder to focus, and frankly, harder to enjoy your days. So what can you do? First, be gentle with your skin. Avoid harsh soaps, switch to hypoallergenic deodorants, and use fragrance-free moisturizers, especially right after bathing, when your skin is most ready to absorb hydration. But most importantly, if the itching doesn't go away, talk to your doctor. It may be a signal that your diabetes management plan needs adjusting, or it might uncover something you didn't even realize was going on. Now, let's talk about a second area that people rarely discuss out loud, but one that absolutely should be talked about: itching in the anal region. I know, it's not the most comfortable topic, but that's exactly why it often gets ignored. And when something gets ignored, it can become dangerous. At first, anal itching might seem like nothing. Maybe it's the toilet paper or something you ate. But when that itching keeps coming back or becomes so persistent that it's affecting your sleep or daily activities, it's time to take it seriously. The area around the anus is sensitive, and when there's a constant itch, it could be a sign of something far more serious than just irritation. Hemorrhoids are a common culprit, especially in older adults. But even more concerning are conditions like anal fistulas, chronic infections, or in rare but serious cases, anal or rectal cancer. Let's pause there for a moment. Cancer. I know that's a heavy word, but it's important to understand that cancers in the rectal area often begin silently, with nothing more than a small, persistent itch. There's no pain at first, no bleeding, no visible signs. Just a nagging itch that won't go away no matter how clean or careful you are. And because people are embarrassed to talk about it, they wait. They try creams, powders, wet wipes, but they don't see a doctor. And that delay can cost them precious time that could make a big difference in treatment and recovery. So here's the truth. If you or someone you know is experiencing this kind of itching, especially if it's paired with other symptoms like bleeding, discharge, or changes in bowel habits, don't ignore it. Don't wait. Early detection is one of the best tools we have, and in many cases, it can turn a frightening situation into a manageable one. Taking care of ourselves as we age means paying attention to things we once brushed off. It means having the courage to bring up symptoms that feel a little awkward, because the older we get, the more important it is to advocate for our own health, even if it's uncomfortable. Now, before we continue, I want to take a moment to thank you for watching this far. It tells me that you care about your well-being and that you're willing to have real conversations about health, even when they're not easy. That kind of courage is what leads to better outcomes, better peace of mind, and yes, even a longer, healthier life. So now that we've talked about itching in the armpits and anal region, let's keep going. There's another area that deserves our attention, and it's one that's especially relevant for women, though it can affect anyone. So far, we've looked at two important areas, the armpits and the anal region, where persistent itching could be more than just skin deep. But there's one spot that's often even more quietly suffered and dismissed, especially among women: the genital area. Now, I know this isn't the easiest topic to bring up, especially if you were raised in a time when talking about private parts was considered taboo. But let me assure you, there is nothing shameful about caring for your body, especially in places that are sensitive, delicate, and often affected by age-related changes. After 60, your body doesn't behave quite the same, and that includes how the skin reacts in your most intimate areas. For many older women, genital itching may come on gradually. It might be brushed off as part of menopause, or the result of wearing synthetic underwear, or simply using the wrong soap. And while those things can definitely cause irritation, the truth is that itching in this area can also be a sign of more serious gynecological issues, like vaginitis, vulvitis, or even vulvar cancer. Let's take a closer look at vulvitis, for example. This condition is essentially inflammation of the vulva, the outer part of the female genitalia. As estrogen levels decline after menopause, the tissue becomes thinner, drier, and more prone to irritation. That dryness alone can trigger itchiness, especially if your body's natural balance of bacteria, what doctors call the vaginal flora, is thrown off. When that balance shifts, harmful bacteria can take over, leading to infection, discomfort, and yes, persistent itching that just won't let up. It can start with a mild tingling or dryness, but soon you might notice swelling, burning during urination, or even pain during normal activities like walking or sitting. And as many women have shared, the emotional impact of this discomfort can be just as painful as the physical symptoms. It can affect your sleep, your confidence, even your relationships. Now, here's something not often talked about. Many women self-diagnose. They try over-the-counter creams, powders, herbal remedies. But when those don't work, they suffer in silence instead of seeking medical help. That's the dangerous part. Because some itching is caused not by inflammation or dryness, but by scabies, genital warts, or worse, early-stage cancer. That's why it's so important not to self-treat something that's persistent or getting worse. If you notice chronic itching in the genital area, especially if there's any unusual discharge, odor, bleeding, or visible changes to the skin, please don't delay. Schedule a visit with your doctor, and if you don't have access to a gynecologist, even a general practitioner can start the process of identifying the cause and offering relief. For men, similar issues can arise too, especially fungal infections or dermatitis in the groin area. But again, persistent itching without a clear cause should never be ignored, no matter your gender. Let's shift now to another common but underappreciated area where itching can signal something deeper: the lower legs. Most of us associate itchy lower legs with dry skin, especially in the winter months. And yes, that's a big part of it. As we age, our skin naturally produces less oil, and without enough moisture, the skin becomes dry, cracked, and irritable. But if the itch is persistent and not relieved by moisturizing, or if it's accompanied by cold skin, tingling, or a scaly appearance, this could be pointing to something more serious, such as hypothyroidism, Hypothyroidism is a condition where the thyroid gland doesn't produce enough hormones to keep your body running at its normal pace. It's more common than you might think, especially among women over 60. And while it's often associated with fatigue, weight gain, and feeling cold, skin symptoms can be some of the earliest and easiest to miss signs. When the thyroid slows down, your skin doesn't regenerate or retain moisture as efficiently. That means the lower legs, which already have fewer oil glands compared to other parts of the body, dry out even more. The result? A constant itch that moisturizers alone can't fix. And unlike an allergic rash or eczema, the skin might look pale, thin, or even bruised rather than red or inflamed. But here's the thing. Many people don't realize they have hypothyroidism until it's been going on for years. It creeps up slowly. You feel more tired than usual. You chalk it up to aging. You gain weight. You blame it on your diet. You get cold easily but think maybe the house is just chilly. And the itching? Well, maybe it's just dry skin. But if you connect the dots, if you're feeling unusually fatigued, experiencing memory fog, dealing with constipation, and also notice persistent itching in your lower legs, it's time to ask your doctor about a thyroid test. A simple blood test can reveal a lot. And once diagnosed, treatment is usually straightforward, with hormone replacement therapy and simple lifestyle adjustments. Now, I want to pause and share something that Dr. Wang, a renowned expert in dermatology from the Chinese Academy of Traditional Medicine, once said, "Itching is never just a surface problem. It is the skin's cry for help from something deeper." And when it comes to aging, we have to listen more closely than ever before. There's another important distinction Dr. Wang makes between dry itching and damp itching. Dry itching, as we just talked about, is often related to age, thyroid function, and reduced oil production in the skin. But damp itching? That's a different beast entirely. It can point to liver or kidney dysfunction, imbalances in blood sugar, or even internal infections. For example, if your itching is concentrated around moist areas like the perineum or buttocks and is accompanied by darkened or swollen skin, it may suggest that your body isn't detoxifying properly. When the liver or kidneys are compromised, toxins can build up in the body and the skin becomes a visible battlefield. So, how can you tell the difference? Pay attention to the signs. Dry itching usually comes with flaky, thin skin. Damp itching tends to make the skin look thicker, darker, even puffy. And while both types are uncomfortable, damp itching is more often linked to an internal health issue. At this stage in life, your body has earned your full attention. Don't dismiss what it's trying to tell you. Whether it's a subtle tingle, a nagging itch, or a full-blown rash, every symptom is a message. Before we move forward, let me ask you, have you ever had persistent itching in one of these areas and ignored it, thinking it would just go away? If so, you're not alone. We've all done it. But it's never too late to start listening more closely to what your body needs. We've talked about the armpits, the anal area, the genital region, and the lower legs, each place where persistent itching might be more than just a nuisance. Now, in this final part, we'll look deeper into what causes itching overall in seniors and how you can protect yourself from ignoring signs that matter. Because at the end of the day, every itch tells a story, and your job is to listen before that story turns into something more serious. Let's talk about what happens when itching becomes a cycle. If you've ever scratched the same spot over and over, you know how the irritation can seem to spread. What starts as a tiny tingle can quickly become a burning sore area that feels worse every day. And here's what's tricky. Scratching may bring momentary relief, but it actually worsens the skin's condition. Over time, repeated scratching breaks the skin barrier, inviting bacteria in and making infections more likely. What was once just dry skin could turn into folliculitis, or even cellulitis in more severe cases. Now, imagine this happening in older skin. After 60, your skin is thinner and more fragile. It doesn't heal as quickly, so a small scratch can become a wound. A wound can become infected. And for seniors with diabetes or weakened immune systems, that infection can spread faster than expected. That's why dermatologists like Dr. Wang urge older adults not to treat itching like a small thing, especially if it's chronic, severe, or located in sensitive areas. In fact, he classifies itching into two big categories: dry itching and damp itching. Let's break that down just a bit more clearly. Dry itching, the kind many older adults experience in winter, happens when the body's oil glands slow down. This leads to skin that is flaky, tight, and often uncomfortable. It shows up on the shins, forearms, and back, places that have fewer sweat glands. This is often due to simple aging, but it can also signal thyroid problems or malnutrition. Fortunately, dry itching usually responds well to moisturizing creams, gentle soaps, and lifestyle changes. Damp itching, on the other hand, is usually a sign of internal imbalance. Think of it as your body struggling to keep up with detoxification. If your liver or kidneys aren't doing their jobs efficiently, toxins build up in the body, and some of those toxins find their way to the skin. When this happens, the skin can feel moist, warm, or appear swollen. It might look darker or thicker in certain areas. You might also notice strange smells, frequent itching at night, or patches that don't go away with creams. In these cases, you'll need more than a lotion. You'll need a doctor to look at your overall health. So what's the best thing you can do? Start with observation and honesty. That means watching your symptoms without brushing them aside. It also means being honest with yourself. Are you scratching more than usual? Have you seen changes in your skin, your sleep, your digestion, or your mood? Is the itching getting worse or spreading? These questions might feel small, but the answers could save your life. Next, focus on daily care. You don't have to overhaul your lifestyle overnight, but small changes go a long way. Here are a few gentle practices that can help reduce dry itching and protect your skin as you age. Avoid long, hot showers. Instead, use lukewarm water and finish with a light layer of moisturizing lotion while your skin is still damp. Choose clothing made from soft, breathable fabrics like cotton. Avoid wool or synthetic materials that can trap heat and moisture. Keep your home's humidity balanced, especially in winter. A simple humidifier can prevent your skin from drying out. Drink plenty of water throughout the day. Hydrated skin starts from the inside. Eat a balanced diet rich in vitamins A, C, E, and omega-3 fatty acids. These nutrients help your skin stay elastic and nourished. And most importantly, don't self-diagnose when symptoms persist. If your itching doesn't go away after 2 weeks of home care, or if it comes with weight loss, fatigue, or night sweats, those are signals to visit your doctor. I'd like to tell you a story about Mr. Than, a viewer who sent me a message not long ago. He's 67, lives in a quiet village with his wife, and had been struggling with relentless itching on his lower back and legs. He thought it was just from dry weather, so he tried every home remedy he could find. Aloe vera, oatmeal baths, herbal teas, you name it, but nothing helped. What finally pushed him to go to the clinic was the weight loss. He dropped nearly 7 kilograms in 2 months without changing his diet. It turns out Mr. Than had early-stage lymphoma. Thankfully, because he acted when the symptoms worsened, his doctors caught it early. He's now on a treatment plan, gaining weight again, and says he feels more energetic than he has in years. This is why we do what we do. Not to cause fear, but to help you become a better observer of your own health. Because no one knows your body like you do. That little itch that keeps coming back, that change in your skin that feels off, these might be clues, gentle nudges from your body saying, please pay attention. So if you've learned something valuable today, I want to hear from you. What's one thing you'll do differently when it comes to your skin and health? Leave a comment below and share your experience. You never know who else might read it and feel less alone. And if you found this video helpful, please take a moment to like it, share it with someone you care about, and subscribe to the channel. We're building a community of wise, strong, and thoughtful people just like you. People who know that age is not the end, but the beginning of a new chapter in living well. Remember, growing older isn't a problem, it's a privilege. And every small step you take to care for your health today gives you more freedom, more joy, and more life tomorrow. So stay curious, stay kind to yourself, and always listen when your body whispers. Sometimes it's those whispers that speak the loudest truths. Here's to living your healthiest, happiest life, no matter your age. See you in the next video.